So do you have any regrets?
Garfield, maybe?
Hello, and welcome to the Undeveloped Reel, where today we're going to be doing memorable moments from forgettable films. Garfield, the movie. Before we get started, yes, I did change the title again. It just is a lot easier to say than memorable moments from mediocre movies. That was really hard to say last week, and I thought also that it just didn't work as a title, so I like memorable moments from forgettable films. And what more of a forgettable film is there than 2004's Garfield, starring Bill Murray as everyone's favorite lasagna-eating cat. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I searched high and low in this film. I have not watched it since 2004 when it came out. Didn't like it then, don't like it now, and I don't think there's a memorable moment. There isn't. I tried. Same with Tell Two Kitties. Not even bother watching that one, I'm going to be honest. I couldn't even do it. But there is no memorable moments in 2004's Garfield. The only moment I could remember from the movie, before I actually sat down and watched the movie again, was the fact that there's a scene where Garfield gets smushed against the glass of the back of the car, of the back window, as a homage to the old plushy cats that cars used to have in the 80s, of the Garfield cats that they sold. That's the only thing I remembered about this movie. And I tried to find something, a scene I liked that stood out, that was really great. It's nothing. It is awful. It is one of the worst movies ever made. I don't know what they were thinking, but I tried. The only thing I can say that's memorable about the movie is the fact that Bill Murray is the voice of Garfield. And yeah, he phones it in, but it's Bill Murray. He has a great voice for Garfield the cat. He knows what he's doing.
Get yourself lost, Lewis. Take a powder for a couple days, get a haircut, and grow a beard.
Cool. And without these movies, we wouldn't have that great joke from Zombieland that I opened up the video with, because that's really what makes that movie. That's one of the best lines in that movie. Not to make the movie, but that's one of the best lines in Zombieland. So the most memorable moment from Garfield 2004 is a scene from Zombieland. There you have it. No, it wasn't a great movie, and I think part of the problem was this movie was made before the internet was at its best. Because I was just thinking about it, the design of Garfield in this film is so awful. I get they wanted to make a live action film. They wanted it to be like a realistic cat, but still look like a cartoon cat. But other than his kind of squashed face, he really has none of Garfield's features that are memorable from the Sunday comics, the newspaper comic strips, or the old cartoon series from the 80s. That's Garfield. If you're gonna do the movie, do him right. Do him like he's a cat. He stands up. He doesn't walk around like a cat. He stands up. He's got a distinctive design. He's got his little pot belly, his kind of crooked tail, and his sass that he carries around with him in that body. And that's Garfield. And I think part of the problem was, back in 2004, the internet wasn't strong enough to rebel against this design. We hadn't learned yet. I think this set the bar so that when they released Ugly Sonic's first appearance, back in 2019 or so it was, when they released the first trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog, and it was the realistic designed hedgehog, probably the same idiots who thought, oh, let's do a realistic cat for Garfield. We're thinking, let's do a realistic hedgehog for Sonic. But Garfield prepared us, so we got the internet to rally. They forced the studio, in something unprecedented up to this point, to take Ugly Sonic, as he became known in the Chip and Dale movie later on, and just give him the classic design that we know and love. And look, those movies have been so successful. They're Sonic 1 and 2, they're great films. I love them, watch them with my kids. And they got a third one coming out soon that everyone is, I think, excited for. It's going to be great. And so that's the moral of the story. Don't accept subpar designs from your childhood icons. Make sure they do it right and rebel against the internet. But that's just a thought I kept thinking watching. Watching Garfield run around like a regular cat, that takes away most of his personality. And that's one thing I think they're doing well. Right, this movie came out in 2004. Here in 2024, we have another Garfield movie coming out 20 years later. Crazy enough as it may seem, they didn't learn the first time. They're going to go back to the well. But at least this time it's an animated film, and Garfield looks like Garfield. Odie looks like Odie. You have the characters designed the way they're supposed to be, and I think it'll be good. I know there's a lot of complaining, about Chris Pratt doing the voice. He's in everything. Apparently Chris Pratt is doing all the voices, and guys, he's not doing all the voices. It's just Garfield, Mario, Emmett from the Lego movie, that weird troll guy from the Pixar film Onward. Okay, Chris Pratt's coming to do all the voices. I was wrong. But listening to the trailer, I thought, hey, yeah, he sounds enough like Garfield to me. He sounds like Chris Pratt, but he has some of that Garfield sass to him, and I can't complain. I don't know if it's a movie I'm going to see. If my kids want to see it, guess I'm seeing Garfield. But at least they got the design right of the character, and I think that's going to at least go a long way in making it a better film, in my opinion. Some of the mistakes, though, I want to go back. One of the biggest mistakes, the big mistake of 2004's Garfield that I could think of outside the design is the casting of John, Garfield's owner, John Arbuckle. Look, nothing against Brecklin Meyer. He's great. I love him in other things. I love him in Robot Chicken, and Road Trip and some other movies he's done. But he does not look like John Arbuckle. They should have got. And I remember thinking at this time, I'm thinking, why are you casting Brecklin Meyer? And I was only a teenager. Why are you casting Brecklin Meyer as John Arbuckle when you have Judge Reinhold right here, looking like he stepped right out of the comic strip? He was the perfect design. He was created to be John Arbuckle, and they just threw him aside like he was nothing, never even get a chance. People who they wanted to play the character, Jim Carrey turned it down, and so did Ben Stiller. So, also, someone else who could have been made to play a live-action John Arbuckle, at least back then, he wasn't famous enough yet. I don't think The Office had started, but if you could have got Rainn Wilson, if you could have get Judge Reinhold, Rainn Wilson should have been the way to go. That could have been his breakout role, but then we would have never seen him in The Office because no one would have touched him after he was in Garfield. So the other things I want to talk about Garfield, the two interesting facts. One, the reason Bill Murray took the role is he thought it was written by one of the Coen brothers, Joel Coen, famous writer-directors of numerous amazing films, and so he signed on. He's seeing that name going, all right, yeah, I'm doing it, I'll do Garfield. But he didn't realize it was a different Joel Coen, who's only famous for writing terrible Garfield films. That's his claim to fame. Also, he has a writing credit, I think, on Toy Story, so at least he's got a few good films, and Cheaper by the Dozen, and also Daddy Day Camp. Not Daddy Day Care, but the subpar sequel is what he is famous for. Also, another fact that I think is really cool. I remember I noticed this as a kid, and this was back before it was easier to prove these things. But as a kid, I'd try to tell my friends that the voice of Garfield, the original Garfield, so his name was Lorenzo Music. So he was also the voice of Peter Venkman from the real Ghostbusters cartoon series, based on the Ghostbusters film where Bill Murray played Peter Venkman. So both these actors have been Garfield and Peter Venkman. I thought that was really cool. And my friends were like, I don't think so. And it infuriated me. But I noticed things like that. Same reason they thought I was crazy. I tried to tell them that Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, was the voice of the Joker in Batman the Animated Series. We were kids. I remember when I learned how to read, and I'd read credits in films and shows and things, and I saw that Mark Hamill was Luke Skywalker, and then all of a sudden I was watching Batman Mask of the Phantasm, and I saw the name of the credit for the Joker, Mark Hamill, and it just blew my mind. And so I'm telling my friends, Luke Skywalker's the Joker, and no one believed me then either, because they couldn't read, I'm sure. Anyways, that's Garfield, the movie, for this segment of memorable movies from forgettable films. Sorry, I couldn't really think of anything memorable for Garfield other than a few little jokes and knickknacks here and there. If you could think of another movie for me to watch, please give me the opportunity. I'll try harder to find something in some of these forgettable films. Hopefully they're better than Garfield, and I can find some. Hopefully there's something I've never seen before. Then maybe I could watch something and then not go in so annoyed. But I wanted to do Garfield this week because the new Garfield movie is coming out. So if you're excited for that, let me know. If you have any film ideas for me to watch, let me know. Please just subscribe. I'm trying to get better at making these videos. I know I'm a little awkward and weird and crazy, but I'm having a lot of fun making some of these shorts and just experimenting with YouTube. So I'm glad for those of you that have subscribed already, that have been watching my videos. It's really great. I'm really grateful for that. So thank you for that, and please, just let me know what I can do to improve. Thanks.